What does a perfect day in the life, perfectly productive day in the life of Mr. Beast look like?
Oh boy. Well,
Or like a
the
standard.
perfectly productive day is we film a main channel video, like because those get 100 million a pop. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that.
What about like the average day when you're not on the set? When
Yeah.
you're like,
It.
because you're running a lot of things, right?
Yeah. So right now we have our snack brand Feastables. We have a restaurant chain Beast Burger, and then we basically, we haven't even really launched any products yet, but we have the data company that I was showing you, where we're going to roll out some tools for creators, and then we have the Reacts channel, the gaming channel, the main channel, and then we have my charity, which also has a channel. And so kind of how I've structured my life right now is whenever I have free time, we just kind of go, "Hey guys, Jimmy's got an hour from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m." And everyone's just like, "I need this, I need this," and this channel's like, "I need this thing filmed," or whatever. The guy who runs my TikTok's like, "I need this TikTok filmed," or Beast Burger's like, "I need this menu item approved. Do we need to talk about this marketing thing?" And then we kind of just look at what everyone needs, and we're like, "That one looks like the most important. We'll do that." And then so it's just kind of like, if I just did that for every company in a day, then that's optimal. If I just kind of like, an optimal day for me would be going down the 8 companies and just whatever their like 2 to 3 biggest pain points or things they need from me, and just doing those
based on priority, and then trying to keep it as short as possible.
Yeah.
To just the things that you're needed on.
It doesn't get more optimal than that. If I clear the bottlenecks or some bottlenecks for all my companies, then that's a perfect day.
Yeah, I mean, even just me, because you're showing me around and you're being a great and gracious host. But on top of that, you're just doing all these meetings. You basically.
I felt bad at some points. I was like, oh, I just tricked him into going to meetings with me. He's like my little meeting buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It's fun to see. It was fun to see how effectively you've delegated. You basically trust the team to do a really good job on the various things, and there's just a strong team that's able to carry the flag on all the different tasks.
Yeah.
From the brainstorming in the main channel to the reacts and so on. Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it's really interesting what it takes to build a team like that, because you very quickly build a very large team that's able to scale.
Which is very scary because it's my first, I'm 24, and I think I was telling you this earlier. It's funny because 6 years ago I had to raise my hand to go use the bathroom, and now I'm in charge of hundreds of people and entertain hundreds of millions of people. And so it is crazy just how quick it comes up. And I wish I was a little bit older so I could have ran a couple of companies and failed a few companies in the past and like learn from those and apply those here. Because I know for a fact when I'm 34, I'm 24 now. When I'm 34, I'll know so much more about running a business and scaling and hiring and how to lead people and better effectively communicate and all these different skill sets that will make me a better leader. That's the only thing that sucks is I just don't have those because I just haven't been through the lessons, and I just have such a lucrative thing on my plate right now, and it just sucks that I have to learn the lessons with the lucrative thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you already have so much influence, so much impact, but you have effectively scaled. What lessons do you draw from that? How to effectively scale as a 24-year-old? Like
that's something I feel like I actually could give a lot of value to young people who are doing it, like older people who've built 5 companies or whatever they do. I probably couldn't. They're going to be like, "Oh, this is so obvious," but for younger first time business owners, you gotta just experiment, to be honest. And but for us, like it's just a new space. No one had really ever scaled up 100-person team to make content on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't no I spent all this time, like I hired one person from Disney at one point to come in and help. And obviously that was a dumb idea looking back on it, but I thought, oh, they make great stuff people want to watch, and they come over here and help me build a team. And and they build it more the traditional way and not like how it should be online. And so then it's like, okay, and now I'm not trying to trash people. Like they all tried their best, but then I hire this one person who does this different type of media and runs a 100-person team. And then you come in here and they try to build it that way, and they don't really listen to you or value or see the difference. And I tried basically for building this company with like 4 or 5 different people who worked in different veins of media. And every single time it's just like they just don't get it, and they don't understand my world. And the eventual solution was just like to roll up my sleeves and do it myself, with like James, my right hand man, and just like no one's ever done this, and like no one's gonna just give us a golden carrot and tell us how to build this company. We got to figure it the fuck out ourselves.
And you have to kind of build up people from scratch then.
Yeah, exactly. All the stuff I was talking about earlier and all the lessons I learned along the way. And so for me, that was a big part of like stop trying to have someone build this company for me and just do it myself because it's scary. Like I spent my whole life studying YouTube videos of virality, not business building. But fuck it, I was like, I guess we just got to do it ourselves, and that's where things really started to click, and we got the exponential growth. We started getting the right people and training them the right way, and just throwing conventional stuff out the door and focusing on what's actually practical for YouTube, which is just completely different than traditional media.
So you train people, and then those people train people, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just even like how you do the lighting on sets, or like how you do the audio, or not writing scripts. So we're just not as efficient with our filming. Like sometimes I have to have 30 cameras running. Why? Because it's not scripted. I don't know what Chris is gonna do when we start filming. He might run over there, but guess what? We got to have it planned because there's only one shot. I can't tell him not to do that.
Yeah, that's the shooting, but then there's also the editing.
Yeah, and then the editing as well, and not having guardrails and kind of at the end of the day, it's whatever I want. The video, their job is to make a video that they think I'll like because it's my channel. But you can achieve that kind of however, and so it's just everything's just different. It's much more, I guess, like a startup as opposed to.
Are you often surprised, like with the result? Like you think a certain, like we watched the video today. That was really nice. That was different than you would have potentially edited it.
Yeah.
Are you sometimes surprised by like a decision an editor makes? It's like, okay, that's not the way I would have done it, but it's actually, this is a cool idea.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The thing, my biggest fear is I don't ever want to get trapped in like a bubble of, because we are getting 100 million views of video on the main channel. Like, but I don't want to get in this feedback loop of just my ideas are great, or not feedback loop, but stop learning and improving, because it is easy sometimes to be like, what we're doing is working. We need to just keep doing it. I want to keep learning and trying new things. And I guess one way I'd put it is like, you don't when you're on a come up or you're growing, you don't want to test new things once you start to plateau or have a downtrend, because if you're like you're skyrocketing, right? You're up, and then you level off and you start to go down, and you're like, oh, this isn't working anymore. Let's start experimenting. Well, if you have a bad experiment, now you're in like a tailspin. You're nosediving, and you have one more bad experiment. You're like screwed. Kind of. I'm oversimplifying. You want to test things while you're still growing to keep the growing from happening, because once you like have again, very oversimplifying that, like kind of level off, you do a couple tests, they go wrong. You're like screwed. You know what I mean? You're already out the door. Now you're just confirming that you were out the door and online entertainment. So that's kind of how I see it. So I think it's very imperative that you're constantly always experimenting and trying things, even if you're getting crazy, unheard of growth.